Netflix, the crown jewel of the streaming industry, has had probably the worst month than any other company and most likely a rough couple of years ahead. But these problems have been brewing for a very long time. To say that Netflix has had an increase in competition over the last couple of years would be a serious understatement. You are seeing every single media outlet come up with a streaming service these days. Now, some are doing extremely well and blowing past expectations, but then there are some that are being canceled within the first couple of months. The point is, Netflix has never had this much competition, but even then, Netflix is still the clear leader in this industry. But there are problems that have been plaguing Netflix, and these problems caused them to lose approximately $50 billion overnight. So how did they get to this point? Netflix created something that was truly revolutionary. They took a business model that was proven successful by Blockbuster, which is to have a movie buying experience like no other, where you can go with your family and rent some of the best movies available. But Netflix took it to another level. And unlike Blockbuster, you didn't have to wait until the movie was returned for you to watch it. And this model started to gain momentum. The infamous subscription service started to take form.
There's a movie waiting for you at home. Netflix. All the DVDs you want, starting at only $9.99 a month.
Netflix offered an unlimited DVD rental for one monthly price, without leaving the comfort of your home. And Netflix would soon offer streaming, which allowed members to watch from their personal computers. This changed the way people consumed content forever. Netflix, like many other companies, sells convenience. Netflix enables you to watch almost anything on your TV. Uber gives you the ability to call a ride from almost anywhere, and Spotify gives you millions of different options from your favorite artists. You're saving people time, and this convenience attracted hundreds of millions of people. In 2012, Netflix started a new subscription option for only $12 a month. If you had a large family, you could pay only $12 a month to have your subscription played on 4 screens total. And this is where it begins. People soon realized that I don't even have to pay $12 a month. I can just add a profile to my family or friends' profile. But Netflix continued to grow year over year. And during this time, Netflix began producing their own content. And these soon became hit shows. And you didn't have to wait a week for them to be released. You could start and finish your new favorite show in one day, also known as binge watching. But this is when you start to see price hikes, because creating your own content is not cheap. Leading up to 2019, Netflix spent almost $51 billion on content. You are paying millions of dollars on production and A-list actors, so these shows must be successful, because they are investing a ton of money to make these shows. And documentaries, which could be a video in itself. Why is there a new crime documentary almost every week? But let's get back to the point. Netflix offers 3 different services, and these prices went up by an average of 55%. Now, throughout the years of them raising prices, a lot of things started to happen. They won an Emmy, an Oscar, and by 2019, Netflix had 203 million subscribers across the globe. Streaming services started popping up everywhere, many of which owned the rights to many of the shows and movies on Netflix. And they decided they wanted them back. And many of the Netflix originals just couldn't stick. People weren't watching as much. It wasn't really being talked about. Now, of course, there were and are documentaries that everyone still wants to watch. But when you look at the hundreds of Netflix originals, this is a small portion of shows. So, you're paying more than 50% for a service where the content is subpar compared to when you first subscribed. And there are a couple legitimate options to choose from now, with great shows. And these problems became more apparent on Netflix's quarterly report. Initially, Netflix forecasted that they would add 2.7 million subscribers, which already seemed low by investors. But they actually lost 200,000 subscribers. And when this news was reported, the stock dropped by 22%, which correlated to them losing roughly $54 billion of market value. This was the worst performance in their history, and investors wanted answers. Now Netflix has a solution. Well, sort of. Netflix said that they would potentially have an ad subscription level for a cheaper price, which could work. Now, Hulu has an ad subscription level that makes up 80% of their subscription revenue, which is what Peacock does as well. They also mentioned that they would start cracking down on shared passwords. Mind you, they released this statement on Twitter a few years back. So this has always been the running joke. It's very common for someone, especially Gen Z and millennials, to not have your own account. Netflix estimated that 100 million people are using a shared login. So yes, Netflix is in for a tough road ahead, and no one knows how this will end for them. But one thing is for certain, you're not going to recognize the new Netflix that's coming your way. If you enjoyed this video, please take a second to like, comment, or subscribe, or you can do all of them. That'll be great. Doing that will truly help this channel and this community grow. I plan to upload at least 3 times a month about various topics I'm sure many of you will enjoy. Thank you.